all the medications are all like these
Think about
funky
oh
words.
my God,
And
think
so when the
about it.
doctor is going to be like, hey,
It's a
use
great example.
leaftatum, I'm looking at the plant, to affect your, your allergy
Yeah.
toward whatever. And leaftatum's great. I could just see what these artificial intelligence things are going to write down. Then it's like, you're going to get these notes and
Really.
people are going to be like, what the hell did they just prescribe?
Just kind of, I'm like mind blown.
Today's podcast will be a short one.
Okay, let's do it.
Um, AI at the doctor, right? I'm a big
Yeah.
advocate, ChatGPT
Yeah.
user.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it. I use it all the time. Yet you and I were just talking
Yeah.
about how AI is actually not going to
W-
work really well. So before you do that, though,
Okay.
hi.
Hi. You
This is
sound like you're starting
yeah.
a porn
Hi.
video or something.
Well, it's like NPR, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hi, my name is Levi. This is Unlimited Access.
Hi, Shannon Ellsworth with Ursamin.
There you go. All right, good. So let's get back into the idea of Amazon launches this new AI
Yeah.
service that's going to basically merge healthcare with artificial intelligence. And it's basically going to transcribe the notes, right, that are going to be
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
However, you were not so sure.
Yeah, I would say I was, and I have had to learn to change the verbiage that I use, skeptical, because I don't want it to be perceived as I don't believe in it. It's not that. From a understanding and how to implement, I have a very big passion for implementing the right tools at the right time. And in healthcare, there is, listen, and I know this because I had to live with it. I had to try to blast through the noise. There's 11,000 apps out there that create a lot of noise. And doctors are trying to sort through that noise and also look at patient safety and better outcomes. So AI is a very big topic and it's a great solution. Listen, if you can do AI, the article, for those of you listening, is about um, doing verbally, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, AI will basically take the verbal conversation, put it into notes, as opposed to having the problem that they're trying to solve is that the doctors have to do a lot of notes in the EMR traditionally, lots of clicks, etc. So they're trying to turn the conversations into a medical note and save the doctor time of writing, which is very smart. The challenge is you have to layer that on top of a multiple technology system. That there's a lot that goes into that clinical note for a reason. So being able to integrate it, creating a note on its own is not useful if it's not integrated with everything else. So there's a time and a place for every solution. Like Ursamin, I'm like, there's a time and a place that we inject that we are useful and valuable to consumers and providers. Throwing AI around when it's not really ready will actually increase risk, will actually do a lot of mistakes. If you think about what happened with the EMRs 10 years ago, millions of mistakes, deaths, because the system wasn't ready for implementation. So I just like to be cautious when things like that come out and everybody's like, yay, Amazon and AI. You're like, yeah, that's probably farther out, and also recognize that it muddies the conversations. For me, it muddies the conversations that are how do we solve problems right
It's
now, and I'm a solver, problem
it's like
solver.
it's a buzzword.
It's a buzzword, and everybody's using the buzzword.
I use it all the time.
Well, and in my coaching with looking for investors, they're like, make sure you throw AI in there. I'm like, I'm not going to throw. Yeah, we use AI, but we don't lead with AI because AI is only as good as the data it's put on top of. That's what we said in the last
That's
conversation.
what we
So,
said in the last. But I
mhm.
think one of the challenges. So we use artificial intelligence. I use this software called Descript to capture our
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
It never says or writes down the word Ursamin correctly.
I know.
It says it spells it a bunch of different ways, and no matter how many times I say it, is because Ursamin's not a commonly used word. And then I was thinking about, well, how many medical, quite frankly, I'm thinking like just like the medicines, right?
Yeah, I
All the medications are all like these
think
funky
about. Oh
words.
my God,
And
think
so when
about
the
it.
doctor is going to be like, hey,
It's a
use
great example.
leaftatum, I'm looking at the plant, to affect your, your allergy
Yeah.
toward whatever. And leaftatum's great. I could just see what these artificial intelligence things are going to write down. Then it's like, you're going to get these notes and
Really.
people are going to be like, what the hell did they just prescribe?
Just kind of, I'm like mind blown. I want that little emoji where it's like, pew. I was like, oh my God, that's a perfect example. Think about it. They actually, and Dr. Julie, who we had on the last session, was like, listen, when they injected this new, not injected, when they created or they came out with this new medicine, I think it's uromithoricin.
See?
I know. She goes, you couldn't find it, you couldn't prescribe it, you couldn't figure out, it couldn't match the contraindications of the other meds that it's going to counter against. So that's a great example. And medications is the worst problem because it's just all over the place and those names are crazy. So yeah, so how do you spell that correctly? And how do you not end up creating a whole new job, which is okay to go back through and make sure how much time do you spend correcting our transcripts?
Well, this is not a paid sponsorship for Leap to Tim. And but I have used it
feel
as an
like the
ointment. When I got stuck, my golf ball got in the woods, and I got that itch on my leg. I got a rash. It was well,
leaf to
Leaf
tongue.
to Tim has
Is that really a name?
no,
Oh,
but heavy use of Leaf to Tim may cause hairlessness. It may cause you to break out.
I was so like, are you serious? It sounded so real.
That's right. Well, like I think yeah, it's a buzzword. Artificial intelligence is definitely going to shape the future. I think about my kids, my grandkids, and
It's exciting for
it's
most
exciting.
industries.
But it is at that early stage where it's a buzzword, right? And we're in the startup world here at Ursamin, and everybody is throwing that word into what they're doing to say like we're on the cutting edge as a
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
And I like it. I like the use of
yeah.
artificial intelligence. I think that there's a lot of value for humanity in it. There's obviously risk and nuclear war from
Well,
the
there's a place.
the
There's a place
artificial
for
intelligence trying to take over the
everything.
world. But yeah, I think to your point is it's just not ready, and so we start throwing it around, and it makes it seem like the cart before the horse. I don't know if that's so you're not
Well, it's.
skeptical,
I
right?
think. Yeah. I think it's. I think, and I was just thinking too. I was like, I think there's a place and a time. I think I've become very similar to the healthcare people that I've learned from, which is like, just use it in the right spot because you're trying to. And this is where they say is VC right for healthcare is, because when you look at the market, listen, it's so exciting to use AI with marketing. Listen, I dumbfounded at how much it can be used. But in healthcare, you just start looking at, okay, this is why people fight it and why they're fighting in federal government regulation around AI because you're risking massive amounts of lives and patient safety. So there's that balance of being exciting and no, we're really boring when we don't talk about that. We're not exciting to the investors or we're not exciting to the consumers, but the providers have a very real challenge. And how quickly can you integrate that without risking human lives? Deep.
Great way to end a podcast. So, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Here at Ursamin, we believe people make better health decisions when they can share that information, make shared health decisions with their provider or with their caregiving group. And that's what we're trying to do. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
Bye.